Hello and welcome to the Simply Subjective podcast and live show on TikTok. We are live every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm your host, Abby, and this is my co-host, Rado.
Hello, welcome everyone, and thank you guys so much for being here. Now, we do answer questions from our audience at the end of each podcast. So if you'd like to submit a question for us to answer, you can email us at simplysubjectivepodcast@gmail.com or feel free to DM us on Instagram at simplysubjective. Now, on today's episode, we catch up on our Christmas time with our family. I have an insane USPS shipping nightmare experience, and Abby talks about her New Year's wellness routine. And if you guys do not already know the incredibly disturbing story of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, you'll get to hear it on this episode.
Let's get started. Welcome, everyone. We are just hopping right into it today with our weekly catch-ups. And Rado, I believe, is going to start his weekly catch-up, which I kind of already know a little bit about. And it's the most insane thing ever. So I'm going to let Rado start.
What's up, guys? Welcome. Yeah, definitely crazy weekly catch-up. I feel like I will probably just start with Christmas, to be honest with you at first. Not that crazy. Obviously very chill, relax. I actually did not eat like turkey and stuff. I had enchiladas.
You said that. The way
What?
you said that, I actually did not eat. And then you paused.
Touche. Yeah.
Okay.
I did pause. Yeah, no turkey or anything like real Christmassy. Pretty much it was enchiladas and rice. It was good. It was really
That sounds like my ideal meal, so that sounds bomb.
Yeah, no, I was definitely it was super chill, laid back. Got some cool things, just hung out with the fam and got a nacho kit, which essentially is just bag of chips and then like everything you put on nachos.
This sounds amazing. I want to go to your Christmas.
That's what I was saying. I literally got a lot of food. Food was like the number one thing, and I was like, which I appreciate. I'm all about the food, but they're like, am I not eating enough or so? I feel like I'm just doing fine, but
Oh
for
my
some reason
God.
they're trying to fatten me up more.
I love that. That's amazing. My Christmas was nice too. Ironically, I did have a lot of Mexican food because I went back to my hometown and my favorite restaurant ever there, Chico's Tacos, is just the best. So I went there twice in one weekend because I just crave it all the time. So I had a lot of Mexican food too, but we did have like, I guess more of a traditional dinner and stuff with my family, and it was all good. It was just a quick trip, and we were back home on Christmas Day.
Oh, did you guys come back home on Christmas Day?
We did. We drove back on Monday, yeah.
Nice. I guess that makes
Yeah.
sense. Good. Yeah. So also outside of that, like Abby said, we had a little conversation, and this is gonna blow. I even have a prop for you guys,
Oh,
which I will
wow.
show here. Yeah, I have props ready to go.
Okay.
So let me give you the background story. One, I've already had some very weird shipping incidents happen at my apartment with only USPS.
It's
UPS,
always
FedEx.
it's always
Is
USPS.
it?
I
Is
hate
it?
USPS. It's the worst.
Okay, well, this is now the story probably makes that much more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so already had some issues with them. A friend of mine who is coming out to Colorado for a little while, going snowboarding, all that stuff. They did not want to carry everything on the airplane, so they were buying new stuff. But they're like, "If I'm going to buy it, can I just ship it to
Hmm.
your place?" And I was like, "Yeah, that actually makes perfect sense." And so, we organized it, tracked it, so I would know when it's going to be here. I get the notification today, actually, it was yesterday, that the snowboard was here. And I was like, sweet. Underneath it, they usually have a note that tell you like front door or whatever. And it said in the locked box, essentially, I forget exactly what it says, but at the apartment, you have your mail. If they need something bigger, you get a key in there and to open the box. And I
Hmm.
was like, they probably just put that because the office probably has the snowboard, all that. But I'll go ahead and grab the mail and check it out. Open the mailbox. There's a key in there. I open the uh, box for whatever was in there because I do get boxes. This
I
was in my
cannot believe you
mailbox.
brought this out for this.
This is my snowboard. This was the only thing.
It had the label on it. Like obviously we're not
Yeah, I'm
showing the
not
label,
showing. Yeah, it's on the other side.
but that had a label on it and that was it.
Yeah, it's on the other side of this. You see this? This was stuffed inside my mailbox with a key, and
The
this is.
fact that they still delivered that is insane to me.
I did find out about why they delivered it, but I won't go into
Why?
terms. Well, they have to. Their policy is if it's damaged, if there's like missing items, no matter what it is, they want to make sure that the actual shipping label makes it to the address, which
Oh,
is
well, thank
ridiculous.
God the label made it.
Right. And everybody I've had this conversation with so far has literally laughed their ass off when I sent, like, because I made a video where it was like, hey, look, I got my new snowboard, and then I open it and it's like, what the, and they're like, where's the
It's
rest of
like
it? And
his
I'm like,
little mailbox, like this big, of him just opening it up and like ripping that out. It's so stupid.
yeah, it was definitely crazy. And I'm gonna pull up the email that I'm gonna read to you guys,
Oh,
which is awesome. But I was like, the audacity for this mailman to throw some trash in my mailbox. And him and
the
I are already kind of like, because he's been messing my shit up.
The email from the company is actually really funny and it like
Let me see.
really gave me some inspiration on how I want to start talking to people at Prat Daddy. They were just so like they were so
It
nice
was
first of
real.
all and they were and they handled it very well. But you guys will see just the way they talk. I was like this is the best email I've ever read in my life.
Yeah. And by the way, I did talk to this snowboard company, and they gave me permission to do this. They're super chill. I'll even tell you a little bit about them. But the snowboarding brand is called Capita. This is not a paid advertisement, by the way. This is just hilarious. And when I got this message, I didn't want to get anybody in trouble because this is not a normal way to email anybody. But I loved it. So it's Capita Snowboarding. I literally took a video of me pulling this box out of my snowboard and sent it to them.
Of
And
your
by the way,
mailbox.
before, yeah, of my mailbox. And by
Yeah.
the way, I did buy protection on this item as well. And I sent it to them. And this was the response I got back from Capita. Yo, holy shit. We have seen a lot of crazy things, especially at the hands of USPS, but this might take the cake. Ha 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 ha. Well, good news. Looks like you opted into route protection on this order, so they'll cover a total replacement. Good for you and us. You can claim, and then he's giving me all this stuff, and he's like, holler if you need any help with the process. And I was like, what? I laughed my ass off.
Hilarious.
Yeah. And by the way, this guy, if anybody runs into his name's Will, loved it. And I sent it to everybody, and I've got nothing but hilarious responses from it. It's nice to see that. And so, one, I'm glad I'm covered. I made the right decision. I'm glad for my friend because like that would suck. But at the
Oh
same
yeah.
time, I asked them because I was like, man, what if this is just an employee, and then like he's gonna get fired or something because he sent that to me. Um, and so I wanted to email, and I asked him basically like, hey, I really appreciated the realness of your email. I'm glad we're taken care of. It was funny. I was like, I want to talk about it on my podcast. It's like, even more specifically, I really want to say that you guys and put you on it. And but I want to make sure you're cool with that. I also don't want to make sure I'm getting anybody in trouble. And then also I was talking about everything. So they messaged me back and they said they let me know everything was good. And then they were like, yeah, man, absolutely all good. We're just a bunch of boarders here. He's like, where was it? Yeah, he's like, we're a bunch of boarders here. And he's like, definitely let us know when you post it so we can see it. And I was like,
Oh, that's so
great.
sweet.
Yeah. But the very first thing they said when I said that was, ha, sick. And I was like, these guys are just like, ha, sick. And I was like, all right, yeah, these are just like a bunch of freaking chill dudes that have a snowboard company that probably don't give a shit. They just want to make sure everybody's happy. That's why they have this, and just like talking real to people. So if you're a company out there and like you're talking about Abby, this might be the new approach to handling
That's
things.
that's hilarious. It definitely gave me a lot of inspiration on how I want to start emailing people. So I loved it.
It was definitely good. So if you guys want to go check out their brand, and they have really, really cool um like boards, like this board that my friend ordered, it looks so crazy cool, but you don't see like the detail in it. And it literally is this crazy orange wavy design. And then when you look really close, there's like two llamas that are like floating on it. And then on the other side of the back of the board, it's like lava. And again, there's like two llamas that are like in this lava
I
that you
love
don't really
that.
see. Very unique. I mean, I don't know. They might have
If I
they might
ever got
have
back into
been,
snowboarding, I would definitely look into that.
yeah, I'm all about it. But yeah,
Well,
that was the craziest thing that's happened this week. And I'll let you guys know how it goes when I get the stuff back. And everybody at UPS that like we're dealing with the internal stuff, they just, even though they deliver some of these packages, tell me they did tell me this was a little ridiculous of how I got this package
at
because they
least
were
they
laughing about it.
at least they know that because that's yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on to more weekly catch ups. I kind of wanted to make this weekly catch up a little bit of a wellness edition because I've been upping my wellness routine, probably because we're almost to the new year. And I have been doing things that I've been seeing on my For You page on TikTok. And I have to say, I really like them. So I'm going to start with the first one. First of all, I didn't even show you guys. I have both kittens in my lap right now. I have Gloom and I have Bones. It's like the best night of my life. So I just wanted to show
We
everybody
have
that I
filmed
have
six
both.
episodes, and this is the first time Bones has shown up.
I know. Look at the little ears. Perfect angels in my lap. Sorry, I just had to, before I could move on any further, I wanted you guys to know what was going on just with this situation. Anyway, okay, the first thing that I have started doing, this one's this one's kind of funny. But Rado, have you heard of mouth taping?
I have heard about taping, but I've heard good for you and I've heard bad for you. But that's about
Oh,
all I know.
interesting. I'm going to tell you the good for you parts. You can tell me if you've heard anything that's not good for you, I suppose. Mouth taping, for you guys that don't know, it's for your, so breathing out of your mouth when you sleep, well, in general, is not really great for you. So people have been taping their mouth. There's like all people are doing ridiculous types of tapes, but there's actual little like clear ones that you can use. That's like an X that you just like put over your mouth, and that's what I've been doing. But there's so many benefits for it. There's like better sleep, supposed to like help lower blood pressure, helps with allergies, which is insane because I have such terrible allergies. And it also like restructures your jawline. A lot of like great benefits because like when you have your mouth closed, like your jaw is like pulled up more than when you like have it open.
You
So
mentioned something and about the jawline. And
Mhm.
that's where I heard can be an issue if that happens for like the alignment of your teeth. Have you heard that?
I've heard it's a positive thing though.
Oh,
It's supposed to like help with the
is it?
alignment of your teeth and your jaw. That's what I've heard. So,
Who was it? A guy or a girl that invented the mouth taping?
I actually don't know who invented it, but there's been so many talks about it. There's been podcasts with like Andrew Huberman that's talked about it. I've seen like the Pursuit of Wellness podcast talking about it. A lot of people are trying it, and I really do like it. And I do feel like it's helped me sleeping wise and everything. I will say that I have terrible allergies and I've been good so far the last, couple weeks trying this. So,
Um, have you ever woken up and like your mouth has been untaped from like you trying to open your mouth at
mm,
all?
yeah, so it was actually the first like 3 nights by the morning time I woke up and I like would see the little tape like crumbled on my nightstand and I think in the middle of the night I would just like rip it off and throw it off. So it took me a second to like really keep it on cuz I think it was just not natural for me. So it took me a few nights.
Maybe I'll try that because I actually have a CPAP machine and that thing.
Yes, it helps you sleep.
But I keep trying to get into it because I know how good it is to be able to sleep how you're supposed to. But like
Mhm.
mouth taping, I feel like I could get used to. The problem I have with the CPAP machine is there's been times where it like forces air or does its own breathing for you if you stop, which I get why. But I'm pretty sure there's been a few times where it's like I've tried to like gasp for air, but it's like sucking, and it's like I can't get
Sounds
air because it's
awful.
like opposite. Yeah, it could then you feel like you're suffocating, and
Sounds
I've
terrible.
ripped that thing. Right, I that's my point. Is like I would rather mouth tape than use the CPAP machine because I fight that thing at night.
Okay, well, yeah. Another great benefit that they talk about too is like when you're breathing in through your like in your nose and everything, it's supposed to help with your immune system and like that's why it like helps filter out all the germs and stuff. And when you're just breathing it all in through your mouth, like not good.
You think that's because of the nose hairs?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's part of like why you have nose hairs.
What if you trim them?
You're not taking when you trim them and you don't take them all away, right?
That's true. I don't think so.
I don't trim my nose hair, so I don't know how that one
I
works.
do. I mean, I'm getting to
Well,
that age
usually
where
guys do, but
you know what really sucks? I'm just like this is wellness for me for my mental health.
okay.
But now that I go to get my hair cut, the one thing I never thought would happen, and it happens every time I go now, and I never say anything, and I go to different people, they trim around my ear, they do everything, and then they hit my ears. I'm growing hair on my ears apparently because every single one of them now are literally buzzing my ears. And I'm like, I've reached that age where
You've
the
reached the
hairdresser,
ear hair age.
yeah, where they're trimming the hair on my ears. And I'm
That's
like,
it's a lot of information.
I'm there. We're there. It sucks. It
I'm
snuck up
very
on me.
sorry to hear this.
It sucks. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds
I'm going to
traumatic.
try it. I'm
Okay,
going to try
well,
some mouth taping, but do I need to buy
I'll
specific
send you
tape?
some. So
Okay.
they say that they do make specific mouth tape that you can get, but people say that they used other kinds of like athletic tape or something that like you can
I have
use
that
that's
too.
gentle on your skin. So people that's what I'm saying. People get crazy where they have like an actual strip that they use across. I got the one that it just on Amazon, the little X that you just like it's like clear that you put over.
But like, what about I have hair? Like, it will like stick to
You
my
probably
beard, or
need something more heavy. No, okay, no. You probably do need like a strip over it and not just the little X's. But
okay, that makes sense.
okay. So the next thing that I have tried doing is castor oil. And have you heard about castor oil and all the benefits?
No, but there's every time I hear castor oil, I think of castrol oil, like car oil,
Mm,
and so
no,
like
different.
yeah. But what is castor oil specifically? Not the benefits necessarily, but where does it come from?
It's a type of oil that you're supposed to rub it on your stomach, and it's supposed to help with like inflammation. It's supposed to help like support the like lymphatic system with digestion, all the good things. So you're supposed to put it on your stomach, and they actually make packs for it, that like a heat pack that you put on your stomach. Yeah, it's just supposed to help with digestion and everything. And they say you can also put it on before you go in the sauna to help get it really into your skin. But this is the funniest part that I've seen is a lot of people have been talking about how they're putting it in their belly button,
Why?
which
Why are you putting it in your belly button?
so
Because there's a
I
hole
looked
in your
this up.
body?
I looked this up, and this article online said that the belly button was your lifeline for nourishment in the womb, and it
I
is
knew it.
considered to be a sacred place on your body. So they're putting castor oil in the belly button because it's supposed to be like the direct like lifeline of like where started. You would get food from there with your umbilical cord, all the things. So
Obviously it's working, but come on, like taking it the extra step to like put in the belly button because it's the lifeline.
I've
That's a
just put it
stretch
on
for
my
me.
stomach and like with a little heat pack. I haven't gone, you know, too
If
deep
you
with
really
the
want to
whole
get it
belly
deep in
button.
there, just drink it. Then it goes inside your body,
I
and
don't think that's the answer.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, how crazy? Like, rub it in your belly button. What
I
if
don't
you have
know.
an outie?
It's still your belly button. It's still a
Hmm.
belly button. I mean, I don't know. I could kind of see it. They say with like certain, like, when you're sick and stuff, you know how you've heard to like rub things on your feet? I mean, maybe
Yeah,
your belly button's another spot that you can just
third eye.
rub oils in. Okay. Well, that's, I feel like a little bit different, but maybe.
I mean, there's some things like don't they say like for certain oils, put them behind your ear for something too, or like you rub your for like migraines, or like you rub oil on your earlobes. There's like a certain what are those oils
Yeah,
called that
yeah.
they sell as
Essential oils?
essential oils? Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like peppermint, but they're like
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, I mean, people do things on specific spots and everything. So it could
okay.
be for real with the belly button. I've never heard of it before, and it's all over my For You page. So I thought it was interesting.
I mean, okay. I mean, if somebody wants
Um,
to apply oil to my belly button, sure.
I think that is not the way you go about that. You
Oh, you
do
do it
your
yourself.
own. Well,
Oh,
yes, you take care of
okay.
yourself. Okay, the last thing that I've also been implementing in my wellness routine is I have started doing intermittent fasting.
I am a fan of
And
this.
I've even done a 36-hour fast as well, which is something new for me. I'm not used to fasting at all. So, doing like that was my first time doing a 36-hour fast. I really liked it by the end of it. I mean, I was very hungry in the middle, but I want to continue to be doing fasting and adding fasting into my life routine.
Can I ask you something now that I remembered when you were talking about it? So when we got together last week,
Mm-hmm.
Alex had not eaten, and he was
Mm-hmm.
like getting ready to go eat. Did he describe or say anything like when you guys did go eat? Was he like, "Oh my god, it smells so good"? Like, was he like
He
extra like at the restaurant in a good way? Like, I
so
feel like I would be crazy.
So to let everybody know what he did is he did a 5-day fast ish. So the first 48 hours he did not eat. He only drank water. And then by day 3, he did a cup of bone broth each day after that. So it wasn't a complete 100% fast, but he did have the chicken bone broth once a day, which is it to me that's insane. I couldn't there's no way I could do that. So, but
Yeah.
he's a lot more mentally tougher than I am. So he was able to do that. So by the time we ate, and even with just a 36-hour fast, I noticed this as well. You're not like you get full very quickly after a
Right.
fast. So he was like not able to eat as much. Like we ordered so much food, and he was not able to finish everything. But But yeah, I think it kind of comes in waves of like when you feel hungry and when you feel good. And but I didn't feel like it was very beneficial, and I've started doing the intermittent like throughout the week and stuff. And I'm really been liking that. But I was going to read some of the things that it says that it helps with is inflammation, blood sugar. But this one is the cool part. It protects against medical conditions like cancers and neurodegenerative disorders. And it just has like a lot of great benefits. It's really good for helping like prevent cancer and everything. So I just,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. It's like, it, I'm like, why not, do it
Fasting is
every
is
once in a
great.
while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And I also had we were talking about I'd seen they were talking about the benefits from, and I didn't even know this again, but even fasting from water for 72 hours and other things, and the benefits at certain hours and what happens. And obviously those waves that you were getting, like the reason you're not hungry anymore, your body's kind of eating by itself
Yeah.
without you putting stuff in.
Yeah,
Is
which helps like
yeah.
fully restore cells and your whole like gut
Mhm.
lining and your microbiome and all the things. So when that happens, it's like fully replenishing, and it's like killing off all the unwanted bad like sick cells and stuff and bringing on new healthy ones. So yeah, it has a lot of benefits to it. I've been like reading a lot about it. I've been reading books about it and all the things. So that was my last wellness catch up that I've been doing this week.
I'm about them. I think the mouth taping, uh, you know, I'll try
I
it for
love the
sure. The
mouth
castor
taping.
oil. I mean, I'll have to research the
Okay.
oil. I've always been with any type of oil. I don't know if I've been a believer of oils, but if it's working for people, it's working. And I am fasting. I love it. It's crazy the things that fasting people are learning specifically about it, and intermittent, even like daily intermittent fasting from people that
Hmm.
like 12 to 6 is like the time that they eat, and they don't eat after 6 or before 12. I've heard there's so many different ways to do them, so
Yeah, I've had a lot of
I love it.
positive benefits from all three of them. So
That's great.
very happy.
um
Yeah.
Perfect. So guys, I got if you keep up with TikTok world and all the trending things, you probably know who Gypsy Rose Blanchard is.
I want to say first that I told Rado today, I've been seeing this all over my pages as well, but and I haven't seen, no one's talked about it. They just said how the craziest story, and that she got out of jail today. So I learned about all of this today, and it was the most insane story I've ever heard.
Yeah, she's out today, out of jail today after 8 years. Today, because and it's a crazy story, and I think people have seen it. There's an next Netflix show. She's was on Dr. Phil in 2017, so there's been periods of like how crazy this is, the things that have happened. But recently, it's really gotten the attention of people because she's getting out. The story's getting out. People are talking about it. It's going viral right now. So now more and more people are talking about it, but realistically, the story is crazy. So this is the story that we are going to cover tonight specifically, just because there is quite a bit about it. And if you don't know what the situation is, you're going to be able to find out specifically with Gypsy and everything, and just some of the background, which is insane, for sure. So for people that don't know, she got second degree murder because her boyfriend and her planned to kill her mother, which they did. And then once they ended up getting caught, she was put in prison for 8 years. That was a plea deal that they came up with. It was supposed to be 10 years, but specifically, she got 8 years, and is out today for second degree murder. It was just such an insane case for them. They didn't know typically who is the villain, because when you hear what her mother has been doing, it's crazy. Um, and this was literally since she was born. So they believe, so her mother's name is Claudine. She goes by Dee Dee. She basically, as Gypsy was growing up, she claimed that her daughter was suffering from different illnesses. And these were things from saying that her daughter was delivered premature. Then, when she was at a very young age, she had sleep apnea. When she became a toddler and started walking, she was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy. And then she also was diagnosed with chromosomal disorders. By the age of 7, she was in a wheelchair because she had leukemia. And they don't know exactly when she was homeschooled, but since kindergarten.
Wait, I have a question though. Did she actually have leukemia, or that's what the mom just said?
She was diagnosed with leukemia from a
Okay, so
medical
she actually
doctor,
okay.
but no, she did not have leukemia. Yeah, so she did not have
That's
leukemia.
insane.
It is insane. And you think, how did she get diagnosed? I'll talk about how
Yeah.
all of this stuff happened, but these are things that were happening in her life. And what's even crazier is, so she had all sorts of problems, like vision problems. She was having hearing problems. She was super bad on allergies, asthma. She was having seizures. She ended up having multiple surgeries for all sorts of things. And one of those included the salivary glands to stop her from drooling. And we'll get into that too. Once they did that, her teeth started rotting. They had to actually pull all of her teeth out, and she had dentures by the time she was a teenager.
It's insane.
Rough life for this kid. I mean, literally from the day that she's born, going into it, being a teenager, tons of health issues. Literally, no teeth, no hair, on oxygen, in a wheelchair. And she also had to eat through a feeding tube. I don't know what the full content of that was, but she had to have a feeding tube. And then, because she had like all of this going on, uh, her family got a lot of things, like Make a Wish Foundation. She met Miranda Lambert through it. She got multiple paid trips to Disney. Just a rough life for a kid, understandably. Habitat for Humanity built them a home. All these things that happen specifically because of all these diseases, real rough life, surgeries, just horrible for a kid. And here's where it gets crazy. None of it is true. Was never
It's
sick.
insane.
Yeah, none of it was true. She could walk. She did not have leukemia or muscular dystrophy. When she got older and like was able to, like, she knew she could walk and all the other stuff, her mother would get really mad at her and be like, people are going to see you, like, you need to stay in the chair, like wouldn't let her out of the chair, like all these things.
It's
And
insane.
yeah, essentially what they diagnosed this was is Munchausen, caused by proxy. And essentially, for people that don't know, that is when somebody is making you sick or acting like you're sick, right? Like coming up with all of these essential diseases or illnesses and things that you don't have. And if you don't have them, they're going to try to make them happen in a sense, and
Yeah.
cause this. So real bad. And the thing is Gypsy did not know any of this. She thought like if she wasn't playing along. This wasn't like a thing. Like she literally, her mom was doing things. She was mimicking symptoms for her. She was doing all these things, and she would take her to these doctors, and the doctors would be like, they test for stuff, and be like, no, doesn't have it. And then she would literally go find another doctor, and then she would like try to get rid of medical records that would state certain things, like all these crazy steps that she took to conceal that her daughter didn't have this. And specifically, when she went to the dentist, got her glands taken out, she actually numbed Gypsy's mouth and teeth so she couldn't control her drool in general. So she was mimicking those aspects just to be able to have those surgeries done.
That's the
That's crazy.
craziest story.
Yeah.
Wait, do you know how old was she when she killed her mom?
Um, so roughly, I think she was like right around 23. Here's where what happens, right? So the reason we get to the point now, the tough life that she's lived. When she found out that this was all a lie and things that were happening, um, her mom basically tortured her for all this stuff. Like, if she talked about it, she didn't do things. If she got out of the wheelchair, she couldn't go anywhere. She couldn't do anything. Anytime there was an issue, her mom would starve her or beat her or do like all these things to essentially keep this hidden. And what she ended up doing is she actually met a guy on a Christian dating site. Yeah, that was like roughly, I think, 19 at the time. And they started talking, doing things. Obviously she couldn't talk to boys, so she orchestrated to go to like a Disney live show, and that he was going to be at also, and then basically went in, um, met him in the bathroom. I mean, obviously her mom was there, dropped her off, all the stuff, and then they ended up hooking up. And mind you, her boyfriend actually was diagnosed with autism, and that also like his capacity level of interaction, or just like, how he would act is a 10-year-old, which is crazy on top of it.
This is, I don't
It's
know
a
how this keeps getting crazier.
Yeah, well,
This is a
so this
lot.
is this is a crazy story, guys. She's out of jail. But so that, again, she hooked up, she lost her virginity to this guy. um it was just whatever. And then as time went on, she was asking him, like, she went and stole a knife from, it was like Walmart or something. Essentially, she convinced him to um uh commit murder, and he did. And he stabbed her like a lot of times, like 30 sometimes, really bad. When they asked him about it in jail, he's like, I think I stabbed her 4 times. Obviously, like, did not. And then after the fact, they actually ended up hooking up in the next bedroom again. Just like
This
real
is, this
disconnected,
is,
just disconnected, right?
yeah.
Um, However, so now that she's been in there, her story has gotten out. Everything has happened. She got out today. There's huge support for her. The Dr. Phil shows, there's just, she lived such a terrible life that people obviously are like, we're glad that you're out. Like, I couldn't imagine you going through that. And to kind of wrap this up and end it, she's 32 years old today now. Two two things. One, which was crazy, is when she was growing up, her mom told her she was younger than she actually was. So when she thought she was 14, she was actually 18. Just a lot of craziness. But when asked in prison, talked about it, she actually said that prison was better. Like, she actually has freedom, and that even though she's in prison, it doesn't feel like it, because the prison that her mom kept her in, like, no walking, no eating, you're in it, you have to stay in a wheelchair, like, can't do anything. She's been in prison her entire life anyways, for like 23 years. And so now she's like, I've been able to walk, do whatever I want, I'm here. And that's sad, to be like, I actually have a better life in
Yeah.
prison. So that's my crazy story.
I mean, on a positive note, did the one thing I did see is she was out shopping at Costco today. So she's really doing life right now. So
Isn't that
that
where you
is,
got that you can get a hatch that you were talking about, that you can sleep really well or whatever?
I think maybe they have one at Costco. She should get one.
Sleep like a baby.
Okay. I don't know how we're supposed to go into red flag, green flag after that
I
whole
mean, were there
story.
any red flags on dating her? Maybe. I mean,
That was a lot heavier than I thought it was gonna be.
it's a crazy
We're
story.
just we're just
Crazy.
gonna go into our next segment. We only have four, so chat, you can participate and let us know what you think, if it's a red flag or green flag. You can put a red heart, you can put a green heart, whatever you think. Rado, is this a red flag or a green flag? Baby talks to animals.
I feel like it should
Ooh.
be a red flag, but I'm the baby talker to animals.
No, it's a green flag. If you love your animals that much to talk to them like they're actual babies, That's a green flag for me. I love my animals so much, as you can tell. And I baby talk to them all day. I sing them songs.
Listen, this is going to be very subjective. For people that don't like animals, they're probably like, hell no, red flag. For people that love animals, obviously, big giant green flag.
If you don't like animals, that's a red flag. So get out of here. Scram. All green flags.
That's good.
I knew we'd be the same on that one. Okay. Red flag or green flag treats you good but is rude to their mother. Oh, and that's an interesting one. What do you think?
I think it depends on the
Hmm.
the sex of the person, and I think
Hmm.
daughters fight with mothers, and I think sons fight with fathers. So I think if you're a female and you're dating a guy that is good to you, but maybe he's being rude to his mother or treats her bad or talks disrespectful, I feel like at some point that is a caution sign that maybe things are good now, but I mean, he's been with this woman his whole life and now he's being like that. Probably a red flag for me.
Okay.
Not so
I
much a
mean,
girl. I
is
feel like girls argue with their moms in general.
I just want to know, is the mother being rude to them? Here, I think it can go a couple ways where if their mother, and I keep saying mother, if their mom is just a good person, not trying to do anything wrong, and they're being rude, definitely a red flag. If their mom's like a toxic person, though, but
Okay.
here's
I'm
where
going
things
to
get
go with the fact
sticky.
that I think you've dated some guys that maybe have toxic moms. Is that what I'm getting?
I don't think so,
Oh, okay.
but I don't think so. But I just think that people, I think with their family, they people allow, for the sake of it being their family, to allow toxic people and things to happen in situations. And I don't think that that needs to happen. It's like, just because they're family, it doesn't mean that they get to ruin your life, or
Yeah.
there's boundaries. And so I'm like, I think obviously if they're rude to their mom, then maybe they shouldn't have necessarily a relationship if there's issues. But it's a hard
I
one, it's a sticky one.
you did put that into good perspective, and I think the reason that I don't think about that is because I love my mom. She's an amazing person,
I love my
and
mom too, yes.
yeah, so like if I could not imagine me being mean to my mom like that or being rude. So I get it. If you,
Oh yeah.
I guess that makes sense. If your mom's garbo and not so nice and has done some bad things, and you have those type of boundaries, okay, fair point.
That's the thing. I love my
Situational.
mom. My mom and I have a good relationship, and I obviously, and I'm not like, we're not rude to each other. But if in any situation, if she was a toxic one or if I was a toxic one, I don't think that relationship needs to continue on just because it's quote unquote family. I think if there's toxic people in your life, they're toxic and you should get them out no matter what it is. But if their mother's a kind human being and they're the rude ones, then that's the red flag.
I agree. I agree.
Okay. That was a long drawn out
That
one
was
because
good.
that was just too
It makes sense.
too sticky for me. Red flag or green flag? Oh, big prankster constantly pranking you. That is like my red flag. That is my nightmare. I
Is it really?
hate that. Well, yeah, probably. I mean, joking around is different. I like joking around, but like if it was actual constantly pranking me, no, thank you. I don't want
So
that.
like scaring you every once in a while is okay.
Oh, don't scare me. Don't scare me.
Okay, so don't.
Literally
Is that
never scare me.
is that a red flag? Because I love scaring people. I don't like to prank people, but I do like to get a jump scare every once in a while.
An occasional maybe, like little jump, maybe. That's fine, but if that is our relationship, I will not have that relationship any longer if it's constant jumping out and scaring me, or like, no. I don't like that.
I have a friend. Um, who she is the biggest prankster and she goes out of control. She literally has had put posts out for people to drop off like washers and dryers to people's houses. She's done it where call about these
No.
goats for because they're giving away goats or farm animals or things because they can't keep them, and we'll put
Oh my
like
God, that's
your phone
so
number in a Craigslist.
sad.
Yes. Well, that right there is why her wife finally couldn't stand it anymore. And they pranked her. She's deathly scared of spiders. They pranked her with a
Oh,
tarantula.
yes.
And that's why I have hairy
See,
teeth.
no.
It can get
Yeah,
bad.
no, that's not. Yeah, you don't want to do
Jokes are
that.
fun.
So,
Stop pranking me. Jokes are
yeah,
okay.
I don't jokes and being funny, great. Love that. Don't prank me. I hate that.
I did
It's the worst.
scare Abby a little earlier today. That's why I was bringing it up because she was so focused. And then I was like, boop, like loud noise.
Oh,
And
you did do that to me. You probably think I'm directly talking to you. It scared me. It did. See, but when have you done that ever before? That's fine. It's you can whatever. But if you did that like multiple, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like I'd be
yeah,
like, Rado, like I'm gonna
it
kill you
was
now. Like stop.
it was it was pretty funny. She was just like this, like into it, and I was like, "It's so quiet, no
I was
noises to
like
be made."
typing.
And then I just, yeah, I
So
had to. It was
annoying.
fun. I took
So
advantage of an
dumb.
opportunity.
Okay.
Oof.
Next one. Wait, did you end up saying that that's a red flag too? The last one, the constantly breaking?
Yeah, if you're constantly doing it, I don't have
Okay,
time for
good.
that shit. Get it out of here.
Okay. Red flag or green flag? Having pet names for you.
You and Alex probably got some pet names.
Hmm,
No,
I mean, besides like, I think the only pet names. I mean, we call each other babe.
babe. Yeah,
It's
it's pretty typical.
that's really it. I don't think.
Okay, so
I'm
if he
trying to
was
think. I
like,
actually don't think.
get over here, you little, I don't know, Abigoo.
I don't. Ew,
That's not a
no,
pet
no.
name, is it?
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not a pet name, and I would absolutely hate that. So,
See, I
I
obviously don't
guess
have pet
that's
names for
a
people.
red flag then. I don't know. I'm all if
You're
it's
like,
Abigail,
wait,
it's a definite red flag. So, um, I don't think I've ever with anyone actually had like pet names.
okay, so if somebody wanted to give you a pet name, if somebody came up and was like calling you like sugar pie or something like all the time,
No.
am I just doing weird pet names and that's why it's not
I
like,
think you're doing weird
yeah.
pet names. Yeah. Because I have people like, there's like nicknames people like give me, and I'm fine with nicknames, but I think the pet names are all those like weird gooey ones you're giving me, and I hate those. I
Um,
love a good nickname, but pet names,
so what would
not it.
be if you were to give somebody a pet name? What would be like your go-to?
I hate this question so much.
Listen, I was like, I can't be the only one with these crazy
So
names.
I am just not even going to answer because I think it's that is a red flag for me. So,
I could just see you going up to Alex and being like, "Sup, you sexy buffalo."
ew, what the
I don't know.
absolutely not.
Okay, never mind.
Uh, I I hate that you can see me doing that because that's
I don't know.
not.
Yeah, I can't see myself. I couldn't see that. Yeah, that's not you.
Thank God we're ending on that note. We're done
Yeah.
with the
So
red
pet
flag,
names,
green
red
flags.
flag. I think I can't
Red
find
flag.
anything good about
I
pet
don't
names.
like
So
it.
yeah.
No.
Great. So audience question tonight, and it obviously is perfect for what we're going into. Is what is your New Year's resolution? To
What
turn
is it,
38?
chat? Oh my God, you're gonna be 38.
Yeah, New Year's Eve. That's my resolution. Turning 1 year older as I go into the new year. That's all. If I can make it, then
Wow. I mean, yeah, this year's a big one for me as well. I will be 30 in
ooh,
March. I know, scary,
I don't know
sad.
why I
I
made
know
that
all the
face. No, it's
things.
actually exciting.
Thank you for the
Ugh.
support. I think my New Year's resolutions are always health based. So I think just every
Same.
year, just trying to get healthier and healthier, and been working out, all the things I told you I've been doing.
I
That's
definitely
that's it.
my health stuff. every year forever, like everybody else, has always been the normal. Work out, do healthier things, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
This year, as I'm getting older, I'm running into more and more challenges. And so now more than ever, I got to make sure that I'm doing the healthier stuff, but holding on to it. And especially like all the wellness stuff we were talking about tonight, things like that, things to actually make your life better without being on medicines and stuff. I think that's my goal
Yeah, I love that.
is shoot, try and get the medicines that I have to take in my life out of my life and be healthy enough to do
I
that.
love
So
that. And Katie in chat said that hers is that she's gonna buy mouth tape, and that makes me so happy.
I snore so bad. I snore so bad. So
Maybe you need, you know what you need? You need mouth tape and a nose strip.
I thought they proved that nose strips don't work.
Oh, they work.
Oh, okay.
They work. You should try the combo. I think you would like it.
That's what a great way to end this podcast is by Gloom running like a psychopath on her brand new wheel.
She's a runner. I don't know what to say. We can't stop her.
She's gonna run
She
right
loves
into the
it.
new year.
We're so proud of her.
Thank you guys for joining the podcast, and Gloom will take us right into 2024.